Welcome to Series 4, Episode 1, which is New Zealand 2024. Now listen up, I'm only going to explain this once. This is a bit of a jump back in time as we went to New Zealand in 2024 before we went to Antarctica in 2025. I wasn't able to do the New Zealand trip edits before we went to Antarctica, and I thought I would get the Antarctic series out before it went cold. Haha. So we went to New Zealand first, but the New Zealand videos are out after the Antarctic videos. Got it? Good. In late November and early December 2024, we went to New Zealand to have a look around. Angela and I have never been there before. This might come as a surprise to some people, given that we live in Australia and New Zealand is considered to be just next door. We, however, live in the west of Australia and New Zealand is a 6-hour flight from us. But given our proximity as landmasses, I know that New Zealand is a whole separate place compared to Australia. Different flora, fauna and landscapes. Earthquakes and active volcanoes, mountains and glaciers. A whole different world that we're going to explore a little bit of. So what's the plan? We're going to do a quick lap around both islands. There will be road, boat and rail travel with maybe a helicopter thrown in for good measure. Although New Zealand is often regarded as quite small, in reality it's not. We're going to try to sample as best we can in our weeks there. So given that other people that are planning to see New Zealand might watch these videos, I'm not going to teleport us from one highlight to another. I'll make you suffer the transport stages along with us so you can sample the often amazing landscapes. Okay, first video in the New Zealand series. Our flight from Perth to Auckland, it's been delayed 3 hours. That means we'll miss our connecting flight from Auckland to Christchurch, which we have had to rebook, but there's some complication at that end. So yeah, hopefully things go a bit slicker from here on in. Okay, more social media stuff. Whoops, after bitching about our flight being delayed, blah blah blah, at the airport. We've got a couple of hours to go for the flight leaves of the stuffed up our order. Just having a snack before we get on the plane so I can take all my pills. Yep. Off to New Zealand, be there in the morning, and yeah, at least I got coffee. The important things in life. Just having a cookie and what do you want, a ham and cheese croissant. Nearly into Auckland. We got upgraded to premium economy. It's nice. Some leg room. Let's have breakfast. We'll be there in less than an hour. On our second flight of the day down to Christchurch from Auckland, we managed to make the transfer thing. Yeah, it was a little bit squeezy, but not too bad. We got some exercise in. It was quite a long walk from the international terminal to the domestic when we got there. It was a bit tight time-wise to get between the international and domestic terminals, and I damaged my hip in the rush. Have to bear that in mind for next time. Although it's late November, there is still some snow around. One of the many braided rivers in the New Zealand South Island. Many are famous for the trout they hold, but there'll be no fishing for me this trip. After about an hour we land, get our luggage, find our digs and go for a wander around Christchurch City. Sweet, some of the lollies. I like that one. A bit different to the market in Montevideo. That was the subject of one of my previous videos. Let's just do all that again. This is the Christchurch Transitional Cathedral. It says there. And this is a lightweight structure intended to replace, in the interim, the cathedral that was damaged in the big earthquake in 2011. And it's lightweight, basically plastic structure, and it has sort of become famous because it's just different, and yeah, it's just another shot of the building. Sorry. This is the main cathedral that was quite severely damaged in the 2011 earthquake. They're still working on it. There will be more about the earthquake in a later video. Yeah, the whole no-roof thing's been packed up. We detained them here now. I'm trying to get a good shot of the tram coming past, and it's just sat there at the stop and sat there at the stop and sat there at the stop. Come on. Anyway, dad joke. If you get run over by a tram, is that being trampled? Boom, boom. They're going without me again. Speaking of trams, no, we're not in Invercargill. This is the River Avon, or the River Avon, I don't know how they pronounce it here, that flows through the middle of the city. Very pretty. People doing some punting on the Avon, whatever. No, he didn't fall in. So where are we going today?
We are heading towards Franz Josef Glacier.
Oh, is it glacier or glacier?
Glacier.
Glacier.
We're English.
We're not. So we head off westish towards Arthur's Pass and the Southern Alps. We're going to cross the Alps and then turn south along the west coast to head towards the town of Franz Josef. The plan is then to get a helicopter flight over the Franz Josef Glacier, whatever. It doesn't take long before the mountains start to appear. It's late spring, early summer, and there's still quite a bit of snow on the higher peaks.
Up through the gap, up there, the phone in his face. He's, what was I saying? That's probably Arthur's Pass up there, and there's some serious snow up there.
Sharp U bend.
You need one of them hairpin bends, mate. Starting to actually dip into the mountains itself there. Yes, and this is the yellow flowers look to be another import, which is Plantagenet Scottish brew. We were just discussing the delights of a nice motorcycle on this road. A rare sort of flat spot. The scenery's wonderful.
Renovators tonight.
Just pulled over. That's the Transalpine train there. No, we didn't stop because of that. We stopped and that was just there. Boing. Not to mention this river. Bit beyond my skills for the fly rod in this wind. One lane, the broad stream. It's not. There's quite a lot of these one lane bridges through here. Squashed a bug or something.
Yep, it was climbing up my leg. I don't know what it was, Joe, but it's ceased to be.
Yet another windy break at a scenic location. Very photogenic. As you can hear, it's a bit windy. This is the Aotearoa viaduct and we'll be going across that. We just basically pulled up here to let some person who was sitting right up our bum pass. This is part store. It's a sort of warning sign for Kias.
What do you mean, no? I mean, nice shot.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, you should have.
I should have done all my research.
Rock shelter.
Yeah, look at that. Big slide up there.
Propped half bridge.
What happens to the other half?
I don't know.
Seems we have crossed through and we're now on the soggy side of the range. Just stop for a leggy stretch. This is Aotearoa. Quite a nice little spot. Sexy. One of my aims in coming to New Zealand was to buy some possum fur gloves without paying the expensive shipping to Australia. This store in Aotearoa sold possum fur products and was closing down. I got 3 pairs of gloves for the price of 1 and a bit. You could also get cheap possum tails. As clarification, I should point out that these brush-tail possums were introduced from Australia for the fur trade and have become a really bad pest. You see them dead on the road everywhere. Way more common here than in Australia. They cull tens of thousands a year. Further south we head, the soggier it gets. Okay, finally arrived. This is our accommodation for the night. Quite spectacular. Those hills are so steep. Gonna walk around to the supermarket in a minute to get some batteries because the batteries for the GPS have gone flat. And yeah, housework, dinner. So the bad news for the day is I was hoping to have some brilliant footage of the Franz Josef Glacier because we were going to get a helicopter up there this morning, but there is no helicopters flying today. It's not raining like it was yesterday afternoon, but mist is all enveloping and the helicopter people say they are not flying. So we're going to head to our next destination instead. Disappointed. I was really looking forward to it. Just wandering down the main street to the cafe or the supermarket. And it's self-catering, so we say we need to get breakfast. I just want a muffin or something like that. This is the main street. So The annual rainfall in this area is very, very high. So disappointed that the weather has caused the cancellation of our much anticipated helicopter flight, we continue south. Our target for today is Wānaka.
Look, yeah, there's a bit of sun there.
Heading towards Wānaka.
And he said about a wine region, if we were into that kind of thing. He said, but he didn't get to the water.
We'll just have to come back one day with a fishing rod. So technically we're heading south down along the coast, but we've sort of done this big loop away from the coast. And we'll get back to it get back to the coast as we head towards Hask. We're up in the mountains at the moment. It's like a lot of the ones in the UK are like that. So this is quite this bridge will hold you in suspense. And there's a viewpoint of some kind there, and that's all you can see. That river is very...
walk. Should we turn in? Yeah, you know.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we're running early. So somewhere around here there's supposed to be like a glacier view, but I don't think you're going to be viewing anything. This is a river whose name I don't know. Very grey and not the clear water like further back. Working on the rock face up there. Rock falls through here, no doubt. Yep. Come down through there. Yeah.
The road alternates between the coast and the mountains until at the Haast River we veer off inland towards Wānaka.
Here, yep. No glaciers today, very disappointed in that. It's going to be one of the high points on the trip, but the weather conspired against us, so no Franz Josef Glacier, no Fox Glacier, couldn't see a bloody thing. So sorry about that, have to come back.
This is Knight's Point Lookout.
I just noticed growing in the forest behind the Knight's Point car park this New Zealand Christmas tree. So that's as close up as I can get on it. New Zealand Christmas tree. Had to stop here. Yes, welcome to. And they were all disappointed in the car because it had a P in it and not a T.
sold them.
Ship Creek, yes, that's where the P. Got this little lookout tower and everything there because there's dunes and everything. And I'm going to have a walk along the creek here. So this is Ship Creek itself. More black brimmy than trouty. It's not one of these clear mountain streams that cascades off the Alps. It's the main road bridge here. Just a walk out to have a look at Roaring Billy Falls. It's the other side. We're on the driving along the Haast River, and there's quite a set of big waterfalls up the other side.
Okay, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It says it's a 25-minute walk.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I can edit that out. With the high rainfall, the trees are covered with epiphytic ferns. You can hear the waterfall in the background. The mountain stream pours down out of its valley into the Haast River. Further up the valley we encounter Thunder Creek Falls. We're going to discover that New Zealand is not short of waterfalls. This is Thunder Creek Falls, and I cannot zoom any further out than and the Haast River was trouty below, but it's very trouty here. We continue to climb the Haast River Valley and over the Haast Pass to Lake Wānaka. Well, this is in fact Lake Wānaka, Highland Lake. This is Lake Hawea, just across from Wānaka Lake. We continue down to Lake Hawea before we cross back to Wānaka, the southern end of Lake Wānaka. Yes, the rain has stopped. The contrast to this morning is remarkable. Now, I'm not going to swap microphones so you can hear it. That waterfall there, I can hear when there's no cars going past.
What's the black thing in the water down there?
The what?
The black thing in the water down there, not too far.
It's a very large duck.
Is it?
Don't know.
Was like Nessie's cousin.
Could be.
We arrive at Wānaka itself. We find our accommodation, then off for a walk along the lake and to find something to eat.
What the fate is on last Saturday. So it's not that bad.
This is Lake Wānaka in front of the town. As you can see, the weather is cleared up here very nicely, but we contacted Trans Joseph in the early afternoon and the helicopters were still not flying. Quite pleasant. We're walking into town to get something to eat. This tree is evidently famous.
So without the helicopter flight over the glaciers, that turned into a bit of a road trip. In Australian terms, we haven't come far, about 650 kilometres, and it has taken 2 days and about 9 hours of driving. The winding, hilly roads and abundant scenery mean that it takes more time than you think to get from one place to another. Tomorrow we're off to Queenstown, one of the most famous locations in New Zealand, home of extreme sports, jet boats and all that boring stuff. We're planning to do something on this a bit more grown up, but still weather dependent to a degree. We're hoping the fine weather holds, but who knows. See you then for a video that I hope is a bit more eventful than this one.